Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 11th biology students, and this is for 5th October 2020. As you might have noticed, we have completed the syllabus and we are into the revision notes. So we're going for quick revision notes. So what you need to do is, all class 11th biology boys, all the 45 boys, purchase one notebook and write this notes, and after this notes I'll be posting NCERT question and answers in our WhatsApp group, so that also you write, so that your homework will be completed simultaneously, and whatever doubts you have got after revision also we can discuss in the group. But most of you are not responding to the queries. Only a few boys are putting individually. Okay, so write the revision notes, plus in the same notebook write your NCERT question answers. Then I'll be sending you MCQs. So with that, I think we'll have a clarity. So to begin with, we are revising the entire syllabus. We are into the chapter 1, the living world. So life is unique, complex organization of molecules that express itself through chemical reactions which lead to growth, development, responsiveness, adaptation and reproduction. So what is life? We are defining life. And what makes our life? The objects exhibiting growth, development, reproduction, respiration, responsiveness and other characteristics of life are designated as living beings. So we are defining what is life and what are living beings. So living beings, as I said, exhibit some characters. So these are the characters. Growth is a character, development is a character, reproduction is a character, respiration is a character. So these are all the characteristics that a living person or living animal, living plant exhibits. So unique features of living organisms. So what makes us unique? So first, growth. Living organisms grow in mass and number. So it is the mass and number. A multicellular organism increases its mass by cell division, mitosis. In plants, growth continues throughout life. Look at this, growth continues throughout life in their meristematic area. Why plants grow throughout life? Remember, we discussed meristematic tissue, and depending upon the area where meristematic tissue is present, we have types of meristematic tissue. Whereas in our case, there is no meristematic tissue. So in our case, growth occurs only up to certain age. Like in our case, until your 12th class and maybe plus 1 year. That is around 18 to 19 years. Almost your growth height ceases. Unicellular organisms also grow by cell division. So mitosis, thanks to mitosis. Living organisms show internal growth due to addition of materials and formation of cells inside the body. Non-living organisms like mountains, boulders, crystals also grow, but due to addition of similar materials to their outer surface. So in living organisms it is internal addition, whereas non-living organisms external addition, growth happens. Next, reproduction, second character. It is the formation of new individuals of similar kind. This is the thing. Thanks to the chromosome number. As long as chromosome number is maintained, there will be generation of new individuals of the similar kind. Reproduction is not essential for survival of the individuals. It is required for perpetuation of the population. In sexual reproduction, two parents are involved to produce more or less similar kinds of individuals, but varieties are there, remember. In asexual reproduction, single parent is involved and individual is the Xerox copy of the parent. Okay. Asexual reproduction may occur by fission, in that two are there, binary fission and multiple fission, wherein the body of the individual breaks into two parts or more than 2 parts, each part giving rise to individual again. And then fermentation, regeneration, vegetative propagation, etc. So you got fission, and of course regeneration, ability to regrow. Okay, that's regeneration. Vegetative propagation mainly in plants, through root, through stem, through leaf also, bryophyllum, remember. In unicellular organisms, growth and reproduction are synonymous. So in amoeba, for example, growth and reproduction is in multiplication of the numbers. Many organisms like mules, sterile worker bees, infertile human couples do not reproduce. Look at this. Sometimes he will ask you, sterile worker bees that do not reproduce. Therefore, reproduction is not at all inclusive characteristic of living organism. However, no non-living object has the power to reproduce or replicate. Non-living organisms cannot reproduce, cannot replicate. And the third most important characteristic of living organisms, metabolism. That is, I said, if you recollect from your memory, catabolism and anabolism is equal to metabolism. Catabolism, breaking, cat breaks. Catabolism is breaking of bigger food particles, bigger chemical molecules like compounds into atoms. That's catabolism. Like we said, carbohydrates, which are polymers, will be broken to monomers like glucose. And similarly, fats are broken down to fatty acids. That is catabolism. Anabolism is addition. That is, amino acids are joined together to form proteins. That's anabolism. So both together, anabolism and catabolism is metabolism. The rate at which the addition as well as breakdown happens. So it is the sum total of all types of chemical reactions occurring in an individual due to specific interactions amongst different types of molecules in the interior of cells is called metabolism. This is happening inside the cell. All activities of an organism, including growth, movements, development, reproduction, etc., are due to metabolism. Without metabolism, no growth, no movements. So there are two types of metabolism. Just now we said. One is catabolism, another is anabolism. Anabolism includes all the building up reactions to increase the mass of the organism, like photosynthesis. CO2 plus H2O giving rise to the starch. I also said just now, amino acid plus amino acid. So amino acid AA, one amino acid plus another amino acid forming protein. That's also anabolism. And in catabolism, breakdown, I said cat break. Breakdown reactions are involved, such as respiration, digestion, etc. No non-living objects show metabolism. Like respiration, we said breaking of glucose, isn't it? One molecule of glucose getting oxidized gives rise to 36 ATP, we said, plus CO2 plus H2O. These are byproducts. Okay, so this is catabolism. And consciousness, it is the awareness of the surroundings. What you are, where you are, what are your surroundings. Knowing about the surroundings and ourselves is consciousness. And after knowing it, we respond to external stimuli as well as internal stimuli. External stimuli may be physical, somebody touching it, chemical, biological. Plants also respond to stimuli like light, water, gravitation, pollution, and of course even physical touch. Touch me not plant, when you touch it, it folds itself, you must have observed. So all living organisms, prokaryotic to eukaryotic, responds to different kinds of stimuli. Pro means primitive, carry-on, nucleus. Organism having very primitive nucleus, we say nucleoid, is prokaryotes. You, very clear. What is very clear? Carry-on, nucleus. Human being is only organism who is aware of himself. Consciousness therefore becomes the defining property of living organisms. Next, lifespan. Every living organism has a definite lifespan of birth, growth, maturity, senescence, old age, and death. Living organisms are therefore self-replicating, evolving, and self-regulatory interactive systems capable of responding to external stimulus. So, diversity in the living, because we said the living world. Diversity in the living world or biodiversity is the occurrence of varieties of life forms differing in morphology, external appearance, size, color, anatomy, study of internal organs, habitats, habits of course, area in which the organism lives. Habits, of course, what you do repeatedly is a habit. Each different kind of plant, animal or microorganisms represent as species. So currently there are 1.7 to 1.8 million living organisms known to science, out of which 1.25 are animals and about 0.5 million are plants. So this we identify the diversity in the form of three: identification, nomenclature, naming of the organism, and finally classification. So systematics is the branch of biology. Systematics is the branch of biology that deals with cataloging plants, animals, and other organisms into categories that can be named, compared, and studied. So we are going to make a list. Identification is the finding of correct name and place of an organism in a system of classification. It is done with the help of keys. This is carried out by determining similarities with already known organism. And nomenclature is the process of standardized naming of living organism such that a particular organism is known by the same name all over the world. That's the importance, that's the beauty of it. For plants, scientific names are based on ICBN. So many times you will ask to expand. I for international, C for code, and B for botanical, N for nomenclature. And animals names on International Code of Zoological Nomenclature, ICZN. So scientific names ensure that each organism has only one name. So we move ahead and try to know the remaining part of this in the next session. So keep on writing. Today you finish all these 5 pages, write in the notebook, and you just write in our WhatsApp group, write your roll number, name, and you say revision notes done. Okay, bye. Take